Thank you everybody for attending. My name is Armando Mendez. This is a presentation on international students and international student services. I am an admissions advisor. We've probably met at some point, hopefully. With me today is the Director of International Student Services, Ryan O'Connell. I'll let him start in just a second. I do want to tell you guys that we're going to have a Q&A session at the end. So if you have any questions, please click on the Q&A button and type in those questions at the end. Ask your host. I'm going to read them off to Ryan so he can answer them for you. But Ryan, thank you for joining us.
Great, thank you so much, Armando. Great to have you with us this morning, and welcome to all of our international students. Again, my name is Ryan O'Connell. I'm the Director of International Services and also our Study Abroad. This morning I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what International Services does at Marymount California University, what we offer, and the international student population that we serve. So again, Office of International Services, the primary role of our office is to make sure that our international student population who comes from around the world, we have about anywhere from, I think right now we have about 60 students from 35 countries, but we have a rich history of hosting international students on our campus. We've had hundreds and hundreds of international students from 50 plus countries. So if you're an international student here in this session this morning and you're either considering applying, or you've been admitted, or you're looking to actually commit, you're going to be in good hands and in good company here at Marymount. So it's my role and my responsibility in the Office of International Services to make the immigration process as smooth as possible for international students. We know that you have a million things that you have to think about as a student in general, and then being a student in the US, outside of your home country, that just adds a level of complexity to what's going on. So it's my role to help you from the very beginning of the visa seeking process in your home country and advise you all the way through your four years and even a fifth year, or your MBA, 5, 6, 7 years in some cases. It's my job to help advise you through all of the immigration requirements that you need to maintain while you're in the US. So again, helping you understand and maintaining that visa status is really sort of the key thing that my office does. I'm here to also help you to prepare for travel. For some of you, this might be the biggest trip you've ever taken. And so there's questions about passports and what airport do I fly into? Where do I land? How do I get from the airport to the campus? Again, it's my job to make sure that you have all of those details covered and you're clear about how to navigate all of this. We're in a digital world, and you can pull up everything on your phone and, get an Uber or a taxi or whatever, and you can figure it out. But it's always good to just have someone that you can connect with, right? Someone who is on the other end and can help you navigate all of that. And again, that's my role. Another sort of key element to what my office does is helping you adjust to US culture. So probably many of you have seen movies, TV shows. You think you have a good understanding of the culture through that, and in a lot of ways you probably do. But there are some things that you may not think about, like the temperature system in the US, for example. We use Fahrenheit, where most of the rest of the world uses Celsius. So that's something to consider. Understanding the currency, if you've never had to convert your currency, opening a bank account, getting a driver's license, all of those type of things, helping you adjust to those little nuanced things that you may not even have thought about as you were preparing. So again, that's why I'm here to help. I'm also your primary contact and to get connected to the other offices on campus. So you're going to come in and you'll have met with Armando for sure. You may have connected with your academic advisor already to help find your class schedule and get that settled. But until you actually arrive on campus, it's a little abstract, right? So you may have did some, Google mapping and have seen the campus, and maybe, have a good understanding, but it's my job to make sure that you're connected person to person with the people who can help you on campus, whether it's, security, campus security, if you need a parking pass, or you need to find where your faculty's office is, you can always stop into me first, and I'll get up and walk you to where you need to go, if that's what it takes. So again, making sure that you're well connected to the campus and understand where everything is and how to navigate your time there. And again, we've hosted so many students from all over the world, and so you're in good hands with us. So yeah, I just want to make sure that that comes across to you today. Now, again, I had made reference prior to having to think about lots of other things as an international student in the US, beyond what a student from the United States would have to consider, or if you were, attending a university in your own home country. And some of these things are US government related, because you have to seek a visa at the US Embassy when you're at home, and then that starts off a chain of events that can be complicated. And I'm sure, as you're aware, obviously, with the pandemic, there's travel restrictions, and maybe the US Embassy in your country is closed, and what does that mean? So again, I'm here to help you navigate all of that. The specialized advising that we offer specific to international students are really as follows. So I'm going to advise you to stay on track of your student progress, kind of separate from your academic advisor, meaning that there are certain requirements that you have to maintain to be an international student. So you have to be a full-time student, which means that you have to take at least 12 units of study if you're an undergraduate student seeking a bachelor's degree, or 6 units if you're a graduate student. So they're just little things that you have to consider. And I'm here to help you track that academic progress as it relates to the immigration process. If you're a transfer student, so maybe you started at another US institution and have a visa already, I'm gonna also help you transfer into Marymount and work with your current school to get your I-20, which is a form that you need to seek a visa. I'm going to get that transferred to Marymount. So I'm going to help you in that respect as well if you're a transfer student. I'm going to do some government reporting, which is required of the government, required of us from the government to help you maintain your visa status and make sure that you're doing everything correctly to maintain that visa status. So there are no issues, right? So you can travel freely and do all those things that you need to do. And that work I do in conjunction with the US Department of Homeland Security. I'm going to advise you on all of those matters that relate to your F1 visa status, that immigration stuff. I'm going to maybe advise you on some personal things as it relates to your F1 visa status. And what do I mean by that? Maybe you are coming to the end of your career, your college career, and you're thinking about maybe making a life in the US. You find that it's been a wonderful experience and that you want to stay. I can help you start thinking about what the next visa might be, or legal permanent residency, otherwise known as a green card, or citizenship, or maybe you fall in love with the love of your life and you're interested in getting married, and what does that mean? I can kind of guide you through what that is. And you're young and you may be chuckling right now, but it's happened. So just know that I'm here to advise you on those things. I'm also going to remind you of travel requirements, things that you just need to do in preparation to come and go from the United States as you're going through your time here. So that's really important to make sure all your documents are in order. And then there are going to be other things that you're going to need help with. Like sometimes your home country may require a letter written from the school to help transfer funds from country to country to help pay your tuition or your rent, or to buy a car, things like that, to help you get a driver's license, to help you open a bank account, all of those things. So my office helps get that paperwork to you that you need. And then lastly, which is really important, is my office is going to help you be advised correctly on how to work, right? So if you decide that you want to get a job while you're in the country, there are a couple of requirements that you have to consider there as well, whether it's an on-campus job or maybe you want to work off campus. How do you do that? Do you need any special authorization from the government? Do you need a different visa or anything like that? My office is here to help make all of that clear to you. Maybe you want to do an internship. Maybe you were in the last session with Roshni Lal, our director of internships, and you need special permission to do that. So again, my office is here to help you coordinate all of that stuff. So quickly, just a couple of things that you want to think about, and I know Armando has probably been in touch with you about some of these things, but just in terms of application, if you're a student who hasn't applied yet to Marymount, I think there may be a few. There are just a couple of extra things that you want to think about in terms of your application. Demonstration of English proficiency through several English language tests that are available. All this information is on our website as well. If your transcript from your high school in a foreign country is in another language, you may need to get that translated for us. And I also just wanted to let you know, and I'm sure Armando has made this clear to you as well, is that there are opportunities for our international students to receive scholarships directly from Marymount. So a scholarship is there to help you pay for some of your schooling. And that's, you're gonna be eligible for those things with good grades. So doing well in high school in your home country, and you know, making sure that those grades are turned into us. And then also, if you decide to sit for a standardized test that we offer in the United States called the SAT or the ACT, those test scores, if they're good enough, would be considered as part of the package for international students to receive a level of scholarship. So something to consider if you are interested in finding a way to help perhaps pay for some of your tuition, fees, living expenses, things like that. So the last thing I'll say about being an international student or thinking about coming to the United States is location. So most of you know the United States is huge. It's a very big country. And we have, if you have a sort of a geographic idea in mind, the United States probably has some version of it. Deserts, mountains, plains, tropical areas. But why location matters to me, Southern California, I think, is the best of all worlds as far as I'm concerned. I'm originally from the East Coast of Massachusetts, of the United States in Massachusetts, and it's cold and it snows there. And I moved to California about 6 years ago because the weather is incredible. So that's something to consider. If you like warm weather and really nice weather, things like that, access to some amazing hiking up in the mountains, skiing, snowboarding, hiking, all of that, you have that at your doorstep. It's sort of this big city, big nature idea, right? We have lots to offer in that respect. And then we also have world-class entertainment. You're all familiar with Hollywood. I know that for sure. You know, it's Disney, Universal Studios, all of that. So your experience at university in the United States is already one that is going to be great no matter where you go. Coming to Marymount and having access to everything that Southern California has to offer only increases the amazing experience and time that you're going to have in the US. So all of that said, I hope that this has given you some good information if you're an international student in this session about what you can expect and what sort of service and level of caring and help that you're going to get from the staff here at Marymount to make sure that your transition from home to the US and to college life is going to be as smooth as possible. So I just want to thank you so much for tuning in and attending this session. And my information is up on the screen here. You can feel free to call me or email me with any questions that you may have that maybe I didn't address, personal things that you wanted to discuss, but I'm here to help, and I'm here to make sure that that transition is as solid as possible. So thank you so much. I know Armando's here now, and I think we're about ready for some questions. So thanks again.
Yes, we have about 5 minutes, so I want to read off some of the most important questions that I saw. So one of them is from a student that's asking, is there a way to meet friends before getting to MCU as an international student?
Oh, that's a really good question. So I know that admissions will from time to time host events that are again really specific to our international student population. So that might be a good way to connect. I know Armando and I, we might consider hosting one of those events. I think truly one of the best ways to get connected is going to be through our social media. We post a lot of different, just general information, and our new students are continually connecting there. International Services has an Instagram handle as well, so you may want to consider that. You can find it through our main MCU handle there on Instagram. And again, I'm also available to help get you connected as well. So if you're interested in knowing, are there other students that are coming from Jordan this year or from China or wherever, I can get you connected early on. So yeah, so feel free to reach out to me. It's a great question.
The next question is asking about visas. It says, do I need a visa to attend Marymount in person?
Yeah, another great question. So yes, absolutely. The type of visa that we offer, or that we offer to help you get while you're in your home country, is called the F1 student visa. It's typically the visa that most students will seek. There is one other category that you could seek, but for general university studies as a student, you're going to seek the F1 visa. So yes. You do need that visa to come and study in the US if you're an international student that isn't otherwise like a US citizen or has legal permanent residency. And I'm here to help you through every step of that.
Great. I believe we have one student in here who is from Canada joining us.
Great.
Students from Canada also need a visa?
That's a perfect question. So while students from Canada don't need a physical visa in their passport, which means you don't actually have to make an appointment to go to a US embassy or consulate in Canada, I will actually have to issue you some paperwork that comes directly from us that you'll present at the border when you come in, whether you fly in or if you decide to drive down the Pacific coast, which is beautiful. We've had students do that before. Yeah, that's a great option if you're coming from Vancouver or Calgary. That's an option. So yes, I'll give you that paperwork, but you do not need an F1 visa that comes from the embassy. So it saves you a step. And we just have that relationship with Canada because they're our close neighbor and partner.
Awesome. And then another question, I've gotten some of these concerns. I heard that US embassies were closed. Is it still possible for me to get a visa for school?
Yeah, that's a great question. I touched on that a little bit earlier. Of course, with the pandemic, we're dealing with all kind of different things, temporary rules, regulations, travel bans, all of this stuff. So from what I understand, the US State Department in the last couple of weeks has begun to open up the embassies across the world, the US embassies across the world for regular visa appointments again. So what that means is we're going to start working with our students who have committed to Marymount to get that paperwork to you so you can start making those appointments. We can assume that there will be some backlog, right? So lots of visa appointments that have been queued up for months and months, a year now, right? More. So it's probably going to take some time to get your visa appointment on the books with them. So if you're committed to Marymount, or if you're thinking about it and you're sure that you want to come, I would say make your deposit as soon as possible, so that way we can get the ball rolling as soon as possible to get an appointment for you.
Okay, thank you. We have 1 minute left, so maybe a quick one. Am I able to work while attending MCU?
Yeah, another great question. So the quick answer is yes. You can work on campus without any extra permission or anything like that. So any of the on-campus jobs that we offer. You can work off campus as well through an internship that the university helps you set up. So it's official. There's a little bit of government work we have to do to get you that permission. But yes, that's possible. And then after you graduate as well, the F1 visa has a benefit that allows you to apply for a work permit, basically, which gives you another year in the US to work in your field of study. So if you're a business major, you can get a job at a company, marketing or accounting, something like that, and give you practical experience in the field that you can then take back home to build your resume and take on with you in the future. So yes, you can.
Thank you very much. So I want to thank everybody again for attending, especially Ryan O'Connell, director. We are always available for questions, so just reach out to us. Our information's on our website. If you have applied, you've probably heard from me, and we look forward to speaking to you soon. Thank you for attending.
Great, thank you.